Hey, what's going on, everybody? I hope you're having an awesome day. I'm doing all right. One of my days off. I'm just kind of chilling out. I ran out of video ideas, so I just thought of a new one. Ironically enough, I was listening to a video and it touched base on this, and I thought this is a great topic. Let me elaborate on it. Um, Today's video is going to be called Battling Temptation. And it's just that. It's just different ways in which we battle temptation, okay? Where we're trying to deny our flesh and we're trying to embrace and live in the spirit because we are all souls that live in our body. That's my belief. Like, we are not the body. If you've heard Sadhguru, one time he said this mantra. He said, I am not the body, I am not even the mind. I am not the body, I am not even the mind. And he goes into this trance. So I'm not the body, I'm not even the mind. I'm the observer of my reality. That is our soul. That is that little divine spark or flame. So anyways, battling temptation, okay? What I would do is write down all of your consistent sins. Look at the various sins that you are committing in your life. Be honest, okay? Dive deep. Think, think of the past actions, current actions, potential future actions. And let's learn what they are. Identify them. That way you can attack them. Then, one by one, start working on one at a time. Do not place a time restraint on each sin that you are working on. Some will take years to get rid of, and others you could stop with just one go. So it all depends. You know what I mean? It depends on how often you're doing it, the severity of it, etc. My last two known sins that I still intentionally do to this day are cannabis use, number one, and number two, masturbation, or, releasing your seed, if you will. I rationalized these two sins for years, saying that they aren't hurting anybody, which they are only hurting me, right? But I would always say, well, they're not hurting anybody, so I'm not causing harm in the world. So what's the big deal? Well, the big deal is you're sacrificing a piece of your soul every time you do it, okay? And if the soul, like I just said, is who we really are, then we're sacrificing who we really are. That's not a good thing. So here's some ways to combat that, okay? Like I said, cannabis use and masturbation. Um, I would say, oh, they're not hurting anybody, but they are hurting somebody. Me. They're hurting me. Okay? They limit my spiritual growth. In the Bible, it says, be sober minded and be watchful, for the devil prowls around like a roaring lion, seeking whom he can devour. 1 Peter 5:8. Okay? So this is why he's not saying just be sober-minded just because. He's saying because Satan and the forces of evil are trying to get you. And if you open a door a little crack because you're just smoking a little weed, he's going to burst that door wide open, and now you're open to all sorts of demonic activity. You see, by ingesting cannabis regularly, I am no longer of sober mind, and now Satan has some form of access to me that he otherwise would not have had. We open doors, spiritual portals, if you will, when we use drugs to alter our reality or to escape from our reality, okay? It can serve as a pathway to far more destructive narcotics. It numbs our senses and it limits our intuition and our discernment. It limits my dreams, which tend to be direct transmissions from the Most High. It makes it so that life without cannabis appears dull, boring, and rather miserable. I minimize, claiming that I used to smoke 14 to 28 grams a week, and that now I only smoke half a gram to a gram of cannabis per day, so it's all right. I rationalize that I have a medical card, so it's acceptable. Yet deep down in my spirit, I know that I could be better if I just didn't smoke. I could rise to higher levels. I could be a better mixed martial arts athlete. I could run for longer, not get as winded. I would be taking better care of my body. I'd be all there. I'm already all there, thank God, but I'd be even more tapped into my mental acuity and talent. You understand? So these things are limiting, but we think that they're bringing us up when they're not, you know? And I have to be honest about this because this is something I've struggled with since I was 14 years old, and I just turned 35. Like, you know what I mean? That's over half my life I've battled this stuff and rationalized it in my head. So that's just number one, cannabis use, okay? Number two for me is masturbation or sexual immorality. Every other sin you can wrestle with. Like, you could battle the sin and fight against it. But with sexual immorality, it tells us not to fight it head on. It says to literally run from it, flee from it, because that's how powerful it is. Okay? Flee from sexual immorality. Every other sin a person commits is outside the body, but the sexually immoral person sins against his or her own body. Flee from it entirely, because if we try to face it head on, we will lose every single time. I can make it 3 to 6 weeks in monk mode without masturbating or watching porn or anything, right? And I feel great. My energy's in my body how it's supposed to be. Think about it for a second, okay? The sperm cells give life. A sperm and egg meet, boom, life. Divine spark of life is created. So when we have that in our body, that is life force energy. And when we meet the right person and we make love, we can have a child because the two come together and the divine spark of life is initiated. Okay? But when we're not doing that, it was meant to be held in our body because it's life force energy. It gives us this life force. Like, ooh, you're going to notice when a guy is in monk mode, he just has this certain aura about him, literal energy emanating off every pore of his body. He is where he's supposed to be. You know, whereas somebody who watches it 3 to 5 times a day looks drained. Like you can just see it on their face. Loser. You know what I mean? So anyways, I can make it 3 to 6 weeks in monk mode. Then something happens. I'm scrolling on Instagram and eventually I scroll right past a hot woman in a bikini. And before you know it, I'm typing in a promiscuous website. Then afterwards, I select clear all history as if it never happened. Try to sweep it under the rug, you know what I mean? This is so toxic, okay? Us men, we hate talking about this because society has told us that it's no big deal, yet our spirit begs to differ. So this is the conflict, okay? It ruins my potential to find the right woman. It makes us look at women as objects of lust. Okay? It dehumanizes females. It rewrites our subconscious mind. The dopamine spikes create dopamine crashes. If post-nut clarity has not led you to understand that something is wrong with this picture, then allow me to elaborate for you. It depletes men of our vital life force energy. It makes us rather awkward around women. It is highly addictive. We try to fill a void in our souls with such things as these. Okay, only to find out that it will never satisfy us and that hole cannot be filled by such things. So as you can see, I'm not perfect in my walk with Christ. Far from it. It's okay, though, so long as you are actually trying to minimize and subsequently eliminate these actions or sins. Okay? Feel free to talk about your journey in the comment section because we are in this together. I know it's a bit of a weird topic and we don't like to verbalize it and stuff, but this is a place where you're welcome to, okay? I'm pretty sure that's all I got for this one. So that's it. You know, until next time, stay safe, be blessed, and live lavishly. I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, I want you to know I love you all. If nobody's ever told you I love you today, I just did. I love you all. Take care. Peace.